following program was recorded at the annual SmartOps Forum held this year in Chicago. I'm pleased to welcome Editor-in-Chief of SupplyChainBrain, Russell Goodman.
Joining us for a conversation today on achieving customer service and inventory is John Lopus, Senior Vice President of Operations at SmartOps. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Russell.
John, before we begin to speak about the technology that SmartOps offers, let's just talk for a moment about your role at SmartOps. Walk us through your job and what it is that you do there.
Sure. In my role, I cover three main areas within SmartOps. One of those areas is the actual development of the solutions and taking the requirements that are provided by our product management team and turning those into a deliverable software product. The second role involves the support of those products at our customers. And the third involves the delivery and implementation of those products through a professional services organization.
Well, those are three key areas, no doubt, but walk us through each one just a little bit more. Amplify on them, if you will.
Sure, and I'll start with the professional services aspect. Our professional services team delivers our solutions through a very structured methodology, and it's a methodology that we've developed over the course of 10 years of working with clients. And we incorporate those learnings back into the process as we move forward. And within that methodology, we focus on a few things. Those include the value of the solution and how we deliver tangible results in a timely basis to our customers. The second aspect is the change management and how the solution is going to be incorporated into the ongoing business processes. And a third aspect is the technology. Of course, with any software application, we want to make sure that that application is implemented and integrated completely with their ERP and APS systems.
Now, John, you just mentioned two very important, very key words. You talked about delivering value. You and I were talking about that earlier. But let's talk about that now for the benefit of the viewer. What is it that we mean when we say that SmartOps is interested in delivering value to the relationship with that customer?
Sure. When a customer buys SmartOps software, they're not just buying a solution to execute transactions. They're buying a solution that's going to help deliver different types of value in two main areas typically. One area is around customer service, the availability of product to a customer that comes and asks for that product. A second area is around inventory and working capital. And what we see with many of our clients is a pendulum, and that pendulum swings from customer service to inventory depending on economic conditions, depending on their own sales and seasonal cycles and other factors. The SmartOps solution helps balance against those swings, and it helps set inventory levels at the correct level so that they can achieve that customer service at the minimum level of inventory. And the role of my team within that process is to help put a roadmap in place to achieving it and leveraging capabilities both within the solution, but also leveraging our experiences at other customers and taking advantage of things that maybe we have learned that that customer may not be aware of just from what they've learned throughout the sales process.
I'm going to ask you for just a moment to take off your SmartOps hat and put on the hat of the client, if you will. From the client's perspective, what is he or she looking for in a relationship with a vendor like SmartOps?
They're really looking for a partner. They're looking for not only a software provider that can give them out-of-the-box solutions that can drive tangible results, but they're also looking for a partner that has the organization and the support structure in place to guide them through the process and help them identify pitfalls, help them work through training and change management aspects. So they're really looking for a full service type relationship in guidance and advice from somebody like SmartOps.
You mentioned something earlier about project preparation mode. Now that must be very key for a client, but what does it mean?
Project preparation is making sure that all of the aspects are in place. And that can be from things such as the actual project team that will be working on the engagement. Are the information technology resources in place? Is the organization ready for the type of change that's going to be required as part of this program? Are they ready to accept new technology? Are they ready to accept new concepts and how inventory planners are going to execute their day-to-day job?
Now, John, if the client were to come to you and say, what are the metrics? What are the best practices that I need to be aware of, that I need to incorporate so I will know when I'm actually successful? What do you tell them?
We start with two areas that I mentioned earlier. One area is around customer service. And in different industries, customer service can mean a lot of different things. For our distribution type companies and consumer goods, high tech, et cetera, they measure customer service such as fill rates or on time and full type metrics. But in other customers that may have retail type environments, they don't have the luxury of knowing the customer demand when it happens. So they measure things like stock transfers, they measure things like out of stocks, et cetera. But we're always looking for some type of KPI around customer service, or even multiple KPIs around customer service. And then the second area is around inventory. And inventory in terms of days of supply, inventory in terms of dollars. What we're looking for in that area is understanding where are they today, where have they been historically, what are seasonal impacts, and making sure that we have a robust baseline of comparison so that as we move forward, we know whether the solution is working, whether it's actually delivering value.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that would love to hear an example or two. Or is there a relationship with a client that you can let us in on, talk to us about it, and tell us what was the challenge and what did SmartOps do for that client?
Sure. One of the customers that we've been working with for nearly 5 years is a customer in consumer goods. And at the time when we first started working together, that customer was going through a very complex implementation of a new APS solution. And they told us at the time that we don't think we can take this on. We don't think that we have enough bandwidth in the organization to do this. But the value proposition was so compelling that we both agreed that we would find a way. And so we worked collaboratively with them, given resource constraints, given system constraints, given all of the typical things that major companies are dealing with today. And we laid out a roadmap. And as part of that roadmap, we implemented our solution in a way that minimized that impact. And it delivered results in terms of improved availability of product. So we saw customer service go up by 5%, but at the same time, we saw their safety stocks decrease by over 20%.
Well, that certainly sounds like a successful relationship. Final question, John. Takeaway. Put your SmartOps hat back on and tell us, what is the message that you want to leave the viewer here today about a potential relationship between him and yourself?
Sure, and I'll tell you what I would tell a customer who came to me asking the same question. What I would tell that customer is prepare for it adequately. Make sure that you've got the resources in place to execute the implementation. But most importantly, make sure that you have the executive level sponsorship. And make sure that the people that are on the working team have the air cover that they need to move forward and use inventory targets and use results that may be very different than what they had used in the past. Ultimately, the success of the engagement relies on a moment of truth, when a user decides whether or not they're going to use a target that SmartOps is calculating for their inventories. And whatever we can provide in terms of training, consulting, best practices, et cetera, that's what we try to bring to the table.
Well, it's valuable information, John. Thank you very much for sitting down with us today.
You're welcome.
John Lopus, SmartOps, speaking with us today about balancing customer service and inventory. Thank you for watching.